Carlo, and I'm with Brenden today. How you going, Brenden?
Yeah, good yourself?
Good, thank you. I noticed you wear your 75 hard shirt today.
Yeah.
You're on phase 1, is it?
Yeah, phase 1, day 7 today.
Man, you've really been hitting it. Like, you look jacked.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I bet you feel jacked too.
Yeah, I feel really good. Testosterone's pumping.
Yeah. That's unreal. Alright, so what we're going to dive into today is that Brenden here had a powerlifting competition recently.
Yeah.
And we're going to break it down a little bit. So talk me through getting up the morning of and what the commute here was like. Because I know you brought a mate along as well, who was a bundle of laughs. So talk me through the day of, the morning of.
The morning of, I stuck to my usual routine pretty much, just so I was familiar with it. So I started off with a 10-minute prayer, 10 minutes of visualization, and then I went outside, did a outdoor ruck for half an hour, and then I went back inside and made some breakfast, some eggs and some sourdough toast and a bit of rice bubbles that day for a bit of extra carbs, and then made my way over to Steve's place, and then we went from there to Campbelltown.
Yeah.
Had a lot of good laughs there, and yeah.
Oh, dude, it was a pretty funny morning.
Yeah.
I wake up and I've had shit sleep. Like,
Yeah, I remember you saying.
my sleep was absolute rubbish. Anyway, I get to Campbelltown like super early because I wanted to get there like super early, and so I get there. I'm an hour early, and I realize, you know what, I'm gonna be waiting here a while. So I just go get myself a feed, just relax, calm down. I'm sort of nodding off, but I'm not, and I'm like, you know, I probably should be awake now. I'll just get a hot chocolate, just shoot it, and it'll wake me up. And well, it really didn't, but you know what? I thought, hey, you know what? Let's just find the place so that then I don't get lost trying to drive around, and then I'll just wait around. So that was really my morning of. It was just a really delicate cruise down to Campbelltown, and my normal routine is just I get up, I go to wherever I'm going, because most of my training happens in the afternoon, whether it's jiu-jitsu or whether it's at the gym. I'm not a morning trainer at the moment. I'm usually an afternoon trainer.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, when we prepared for the competition, it's like 6, 8, 12, 16 weeks out, we had a specific program, didn't we, that we were going to execute. And so it included a lot of volume, we deloaded a little bit, and we also made sure that the tempo was really, really slow, because a lot of the time when you're training volume, like volume is important, don't get me wrong. Like having high reps is being able to ensure that you're able to lift the weight. It's great. But what I've also found, especially for explosive movement, is setting the rep range low and then the weight high. Because what happens is your body is able to respond to that heavy weight by firing the circuitry it needs in order to execute the rep. So if you're doing heavy deadlifts, for example, initially we did 10 by 10s, where you got specifically accustomed to lifting a heavy certain amount of weight at a long rep range. But as we got closer to the competition, we lowered and lowered and lowered, because we didn't want to tire you out with the rep ranges. Instead, what we wanted to do is make you become more accustomed to lifting even heavier weights at a lower rep range. So we still have the high volume, but the reps were really low. And what we can do now is we can break that down a little bit further with how you felt working towards lifting the weight that you did on comp day.
Yeah, well, I just followed what you said pretty much, and I found the tempo really helped quite a bit, getting that time under tension, and it helped me overall gain strength as I went along through the program. It was, especially the volume was quite intense getting through that. I didn't dread it as such, but it was a bit daunting at times. But I sort of got through it, and going back to one of our last episodes, that belief was there because I had done that time and time before. So sort of I got accustomed to it and got used to it, and looked forward to it every time, like a challenge there. So yeah, that was the lead up, and then see putting the weight up a little bit and lowering the reps, that was quite justifying as well. By having that, it gives you a bit of confidence that you can lift a bit heavier weight rather than doing a bit lower weight and more volume, because at the end of the day it's about doing the 1 rep max.
Talk me through each lift. So the first lift of the day was a squat, and so I know that when I gave you squat volume, like I gave you proper squat volume, like 10 by 10s, 130, 140 kilos. I think there was one component where there was 150 kilos for like 6 or 8 reps, something ridiculous. And what I thought was, oh yeah, Brenden can do this. And then I started squatting the weight. And so because I'm not gonna not do what I prescribe. Like if I'm gonna prescribe heavy, I'm gonna lift heavy. And provided that it can be done. And so I'm there squatting 150 kilos at the gym, and I'm like, dude, this is fucking heavy. And so I'm there squatting 1 rep, 2 reps, 3 reps. Dude, the 4th one's a fucking struggle. And I'm going, oh, alright, 2 more. 1 more. Holy shit, that is exhausting. And then I got you to do fucking 6 sets of that. Like, I'm like, dude, I am evil. That is awful. But then I'm also thinking, you know what, it's going to help him lift a lot of weight on comp day. So how much did you squat again on the day?
Well, the highest one that got all ticked off was 170, and then I did a 190 as well, but it got me for depth by fuck all. Like by, I think it was that much. I didn't have a fucking measuring tape to measure it, but it wasn't much. So,
hey, that happens, and you know what? Like, your asshole might have been feeling like this, but you know what? Like, that's sometimes the way it goes. And so now
it felt good that.
Hey, but at the same time, like, because you were able to acclimate to lifting that weight on a consistent basis, then when you arrived at comp day, it was just a matter of up, down and up, and that was it. There wasn't a lot of struggle. Like, you lifted the weight, it was just more so that it wasn't enough, like downward, and it's like, you fuck, right? And so also it was absolutely hilarious, like a little side story. So we're getting ready for the squat, and I go, Brenden, you're gonna be 3rd, right? And Brendan's like, all right, no worries, I've got some time. All right, 150 kilos for Brenden, and I'm like, wait, what? Brenden, you're 1st, hurry up, and you're like, off you go. That was a bit.
No, the reason we weren't sort of expecting at that time either, because initially we were programmed to start, or I was programmed to start at 11:15, and at that stage it was only like 10:30 or something like that. So I was doing warm ups. I'd just done the pendulum. I did all that before I put my knee wraps on, because it's a lot more had a lot more flexibility and had to warm up the joints and everything. So I'd done that, and then with the call, I said, oh fuck. So I had to take, in pretty much 30 seconds, I took off my Converses, which are a bit of a fucking headache to take off sometimes.
Chuck Taylors, they're the worst.
I took them off, put my 2 knee sleeves on, then I put my powerlifting shoes on for squats, and then I fucking took off, and I said, oh fuck, my belt. So I went back a few meters, grabbed my belt, and then I fucking ran to the thing and.
How much of a hassle is it to run in those powerlifting shoes, buddy?
Because
it's got the hard surface like at the bottom, like it keeps you steady. Like they're not for running. They're not like running shoes where like it's more plexy and you're able to be more flexible with your footing. Like it is a hard, firm bottom.
Oh yeah, sure.
And running in those is like your foot's worst nightmare. And I'm thinking to myself, oh man, like I'm an idiot. Like I've got him running back and forth now, and I should have been more organized. But like I said, I thought I ran third, and then I realized it was the other Brenden that was there that was third.
Oh yeah,
you were first.
That's
and I'm like, oh
yeah.
That squat anyway was insane. Like that 190 squat, I was like, yeah, he's got it. And then I saw the lights, and I was like,
yeah. That was the last squat of the thing, the 190. Yeah. The 150 I didn't get because I jumped the gun a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a lot of like adrenaline pumping from doing all that in quick succession.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it done, but fucking red lit, I suppose, like if you're talking like drag racing terms. Jump the gun.
Jump the gun. Alright, next lift, we went to the bench press. And that was a massive improvement from last year in the bench press. Like, your bench press last year was, compared to this year, subpar.
Yeah.
Like, last year you went for 85 single, which didn't end up happening.
Yeah.
And so walk me through this year's bench and how you
went. Well, bench, what did I do bench? I started with 80 or 85 on the two.
Mm-hmm.
I done that as my first one, that was pretty smooth, no problem with it. And then the 95 was a little bit out of position, but I grinded my way through it. And then the 102.5, I was just a bit too high, I think, and I didn't get the lift, but I was happy with grinding through the 95.
We had a lot of bench press prep too.
Yeah.
Like, because I was very confident that you were going to lift over 100 kilos every day.
Yeah.
And having that confidence comes from the reps and just repeating it time after time. And like you were saying before, like because you did the time, like the belief was there.
Yeah.
And so when you were a little bit out of position and then the rep didn't go as expected, it wasn't like, oh, screw this shit. You just went, oh well, like, it happens. It is what it is. That's
what I've done, what you can do about it now.
That's
really.
exactly right.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's so important, especially going into a competition as well, because when you let your mind circulate around, oh, what could have happened or what could have been, like, you just spiral down into an abyss. And so with that, being able to know that 100 kilo bench is so close and you hitting it like it's going to be a big deal, like, because then all three of the lifts are going to be triple digits. Like, and so that's always good. I've done it before at the gym, but not under competition things, which is obviously what you want to do. But that's all right. Lastly, now this is the best lift, your best lift, my best lift personally is the deadlift. And so we did loads and loads of deadlift preps. So now I want to start at probably one of the scarier things that have happened to you, but then also like I was utterly confused as to how it happened in the first place. So you're training at the gym.
Yeah.
You deadlift 200 kilos.
Yeah.
And when you put the weight down, what happens next?
What happens next? I didn't breathe, is the first thing that happened. And the second thing that happened is blood rushed to my head, and then I fainted as a result, and almost hit my head on the bar, so the support bar.
So
but,
not only did you faint, but you managed to faint forward. Like a lot of the time when you faint, like you're fainting backwards, and you take a fall and you collapse back. You just stumbled forward. It was like I rewatched the video because when I first watched the video that you posted, I saw the weight go up, and I was like, yeah! And then I
Yeah.
scrolled past. I didn't
Yeah.
watch all of the video,
Yeah.
I just saw the weight go up. I'm like,
Yeah.
Brenden, this is hectic, this is great. I even commented, hey, this is hectic. And
Yeah.
like I said, I didn't realize he fell. And
Yeah.
so then when
Yeah.
I saw that he fell over, then I felt my comment was so insensitive, so
Yeah.
I deleted it.
Yeah.
And so I'm going, oh shit, are you alright?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that was terrifying. And like I said, you're a bee's dick away from hitting that rack on the power rack, and I'm going, oh my god, that is never happening again. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna make sure that you're lifting comfortably and you're breathing.
Yeah.
And so,
well, from that, I was lucky enough to have the silver lining behind that was I got a lot of support from not only yourself but the people around me at the gym. That's why a good gym community is so important, that like they could easily just freaking had a go at me and just say, oh, why are you doing this for? And not sort of support me in trying to improve on things. That's why it's so important to do that and have a good community around you.
oh, without question.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Like, because people having your back, like, is one
Yeah.
of the best things and one of the best feelings that you can have. And so, with our prep now, like, you've lifted this 200 kilos very comfortably, and then you were very uncomfortable at the end of that. And we said, well, you know what, we need to be comfortable throughout the whole lift. We need to lift the weight up, put the weight back down, take a few steps back, and then just be able to walk off. And so that's what the next 7-8 months became. And
Yeah.
so we set it up so that you lifted, again, lighter at the start, but lots and lots and lots of reps and lots of
Yeah.
sets. So we did 10 by 10s at 150 or 140, and we just built from there, didn't we?
Yeah.
And so by building your ability to lift a substantial amount of weight, that meant that being able to lift even heavier weight became much simpler, because your nervous system's going, oh, well, we're about to feel some intensity, so we need to prepare for it. Oh, okay, we've made these preparations before, so we're going to do this. And
Yeah.
so then it just became fine tuning and adjusting position, your deadlift position, that is, and then also making sure that you're well fed, well slept, and well recovered, so that then your training doesn't change your physiology, it doesn't change your psychology either, it only enhances
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And so then when it came to comp day, talk me through it.
Deadlift was my favourite of the day.
So where do we start and where do we end up?
I started with a 150 to be sort of fairly modest and not to put too much pressure on my central nervous system as the first lift. Done that piece really, and then 185 I went after that. That was pretty easy as well. And then last lift, I gave the smelling salts a bit of a go as well. Combined with some lollies, some pre-workout,
And me yelling at you,
frickin'
and Steve yelling at you.
Yeah, and Roko yelling at me, and freaking 800 grams of carbs in 2 days prior. I did the 205, no problem.
Personal
Fucking-
best.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there going, holy shit, he's lifted. And for a second I thought the lift wasn't finished, so I just yelled, get it up! And so
Yeah.
that's what she didn't say, but
Yeah.
I'm just making a joke. But with that, when you finally got it up, put it down, 3 white lights, it was crazy.
Yeah.
We're walking back to Steve and Rico, and Steve's going, wait, I thought you were going to lift 200 kilos.
Yeah.
And when we saw that,
Yeah.
you still hadn't lifted your weight yet, and
Yeah.
someone else is lifting 200
Yeah.
kilos, we were
Yeah.
thinking, fuck, how much did he lift it?
Yeah.
And so, because I thought to myself, should we do 210 or should we do 205? And I'm going, nah, you know what? We're going to do 205 just
Yeah.
to be conservative.
Yeah.
But at the same time, everyone else thought you were going to do 200. And I was
Yeah.
like, nah, we're going to break that barrier.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
8 months ago, you lifted it, something sort of
Yeah.
transpired after. And
Yeah.
so I didn't want to match it.
Yeah.
I wanted to supersede it,
Yeah,
exceed it, and
not only that, my form probably wasn't the best on that day either. I grinded the fuck out of it on that day I felt.
Yeah.
But the form wasn't there. But I can say that the form a few weeks ago was pretty good.
And that's what we trained for. And that's why for the next 8 months we just spent really just making sure that you were able to lift substantial weight, that you did it properly, and that you recovered. And that's essentially all powerlifting is.
Yeah.
It's not eating absolutely baloney and then expecting to lift weight miraculously.
No.
Like, a lot of the time it does happen because you see all these YouTubers and all these powerlifters go, oh, well, I'm gonna dirty bulk this, and I'm going to cheat here, and I'm gonna eat 20,000 calories today because you know what, fuck it, I just need more mass and then I can lift more mass, and that doesn't work. Like,
well,
it works,
as well.
Right, and so, like, to what extent are you willing to dispose of your body and your well-being to lift a number?
Yeah.
Like some round circles that have a number on it.
Yeah.
Right. And so, as amazing as lifting heavy weight is, like, for us, I felt that by you being healthy and understanding the process of training and understanding that you're about to do something substantial and you need to be prepared for it, that's what really shaped the day itself, like when you were there. Because you walked in, we were hanging out. When it was time to lift, it was time to lift.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah,
like,
there
was no questions asked.
No,
there wasn't really
no.
any concerns that you couldn't lift the weight at all. Or like, oh, I don't know if I can do this or this and that. Right? Like, you were fully prepared. And that's what I would expect from you.
Yeah.
That's what I would expect from anyone that I coach.
Yeah.
Like, that they're absolutely fully prepared. That's what I'd expect from myself. That I am fully prepared. And so being fully prepared means that there is absolutely nothing else that you could have done differently that would have changed the day or the events that transpire on said day, right? And so you couldn't have lifted more than you did on the day because it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But we prepared for what did happen. And so that's why the day was such a success, because we trained for exactly what we got.
Yeah.
And when we go to the next comp, then we're going to train for more weight. And we're also going to train for bigger, healthier, more explosive version of you, so that then come next comp day, you're deadlifting 220, 230, perhaps even 250.
Yeah.
You're squatting over 200 kilos. You're benching over 100 kilos.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're not compromising your body or your well-being to do that by just consuming exorbitant amounts of food and sleeping very little, because the food that you've consumed is now digesting and your body's just struggling to rest because there's so much to digest. And so that's what I implore anyone that's considering a powerlifting competition, is to ensure that to remain healthy, to remain lively, and to see where your well-being is, so that then you can be adequately prepared. Because if you're not prepared, that's where the concern comes in. That's where the doubt comes in. That's where the fear comes in. But if you're fully prepared, then forget about it. You walk in, you're going to do exactly what you organize yourself to do. And sometimes there are going to be times where you could be the most organized person in the world and nothing goes to plan. But at the same time, better to have a plan and not let it follow through than have no plan at all and then feel lost and disoriented when you don't get the results that you want. And so that's why when I left that day, I was like, dude, like, this couldn't have gone any better. Any better. I left, I was going, dude, like, you lifted 205 kilos, like, that's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. Like, that's more than I've lifted ever. Like, the most I've lifted was 200 kilos, like, off the ground. That's it. Like, I've never gone for any higher than 200 kilos, like, in a deadlift. That's crazy. And being able to go, hey, you know what, like, I get to do that. Like, and I get to lift heavy weight, like, and I feel good. And, you're doing 75 hard and you're doing your work.
Yeah.
Like you still get to go out and
Yeah.
watch footy matches or go to dinner with Steve and the boys or like do this podcast with me. Like that's the thing. Like when you look after yourself and you prioritize your time, then powerlifting competition, jiu-jitsu competition, bodybuilding competition, dude, even beauty pageants, whatever you're doing, like there is time for all of it when you're fully prepared. And so I think to just bring the day home is that we were fully prepared, and by being fully prepared, we were able to overcome the 200 kilo obstacle. We were able to do the lifts the way that we wanted to. Didn't start on time, but you know what? That happens too. And so that day, a few weeks ago, that was a really solid day. And then the Guzzi and Gomez that we got after was fucking mid.
Yeah.
And just having a yarn, just kicking the shit. Like that's what a good day with the boys is.
100%.
Like, dude, what a day.
Yeah, it was. And just going back to the time that when I done that 200 a few months ago and it didn't end well, that I learned fucking a shit ton from that. Not only from like the briefing, but I also learned the conditions were not ideal that day, and I learned a lot about making sure that you have more control over those things. Like the night before, I went out and didn't get home until probably 1 or 2 o'clock, and then I come here.
I did not know this, by the way.
I did a interview with one of my mates for a nutrition course I was doing. Then after that, I did a podcast. I think you were away. You must have been away at the time.
I was away.
I did one by myself, and then by the time I done that, I said, "Fuck, this week so I've got to do PB week." So I went to the gym. I got it done, but I hadn't eaten for the hours between the podcast and the interview and all that stuff. So
and this is why you get coaching people, because the thing is, like, when you do foolish stuff like that, that's what happens. And so then when, like I said, I had no idea that he went out the night before. Right? Like normally Brendan's well rested. Like I know that sometimes he goes out with Steve and with Michael, with Trent, or whoever's with, right? And like, what I wasn't aware of that time was that you went out the night before. And so in my mind, Brendan's like, dude, if it's PB week, like I'm fully prepared. And this time you weren't. Like I said, that coaching is for accountability, so that then you don't do silly stuff like that. And so I know I've done silly stuff like that. There have been nights a few years ago where I just get a 7-Eleven muffin, you know, when they sold, you remember when they sold those big muffins?
Oh, the big ones.
The big ones, right, with like 106 grams of carbs in one of them. Right, I had that, I had a thing of pre-workout, and then I had a white monster as well at 10:30 at night time. I didn't go to sleep till like 2 a.m. Because I was in the gym for 3 hours just blasting hardstyle music and training, and then I was so worked up that I didn't sleep for like an hour. And so I've done some really ridiculous things, right? But this is why coaching is really important. So that then you keep in communication and constant contact with them, so that then you're not doing ridiculous things like that. And so like we have a trust between one another. So like I don't really have to be going, oh, you need to check in, you need to do this, you need to do that, right? But at the same time, going, oh, hey, just make sure that you're not going out before PB night, and that you eat and that you sleep. That's also super important. And so, get yourself a coach. If you're considering powerlifting, you're considering anything at all, if you coach yourself and you're disciplined, excellent. I know that we both are, but also at the same time, it also helps that we're both in each other's corner. So get someone in your corner.
100%.
I think that wraps us up for today. What a day that powerlifting competition was. There's going to be plenty more, I'm certain of it. And if you want more lifting breakdown videos, just subscribe to our channel and we will then work towards helping you achieve that and embodying excellence. So make sure that you tune in for another episode and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you. Please like, share and subscribe. Have a good one, guys.